Hey there everybody, this is Colton with POSGuys.com, and we get questions from customers all the time asking us what hardware they should be ordering with their iPad-based Square systems. So I thought it'd be a good idea for us to record a video today, sort of pulling out all the different items we have here to talk about what's compatible, which ones we recommend, and share some of the tips and advice that we've picked up after helping support hundreds of Square customers over the years. So there's two versions of Square that support iPads. You have the Square Reader, which is of course like the little Square guy that you just kind of plug in. And then you have the Square Stand here. Now this is the Generation 2 Square Stand. As far as we know, compatibility hasn't been impacted between the first and second generation, so you should be good there. There is also a brand new kiosk mode that they just come out with that is built on iPad, but we won't talk about that because it's pretty new and not a lot of people are using it. So we're going to keep it pretty laser focused. If you're not a video person and you prefer just to take a look at a list, we've built a custom microsite with a link in the description below that has it all built out, kind of broken into different categories with notes. But with that, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to zoom us all in and let's get started. So we'll start off with the receipt and kitchen printers because that's what most of the products we're going to be talking about today are. First up is the TSP-100 III, also known as the TSP-143. They're the same thing, so don't get too tripped up by that. This is one of the more popular models that our Square customers use. In fact, it's probably one of the most popular printers that we sell hands down. It is available in both black and white and comes with a 2-year manufacturer defect warranty. The Ethernet, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi versions are compatible with both versions of Square. If you're using the Square Stand in particular, you'll have the option to use USB as well when you connect into the Square Hub that you can purchase separately. Square also supports the older TSP-100 II, but that's end of life now, so I won't go into too much detail. And from now on, I'm going to omit any mention of older end of life products just to keep this simple with a few notable exceptions. The TSP-100 III prints at 8 inches per second, which is fine for most applications, but if you're printing a lot of receipts, you might want to consider upgrading to its big brother, the TSP-650 II. This prints at 11 inches per second and is compatible with Ethernet, Bluetooth, or Wi-Fi, plus USB if you're using it on the Square Stand. It's important to note that the Bluetooth version is end of life, so it might be hard to find it. So caveat there. 2 quick troubleshooting points that come up a lot when customers are looking at these. First, we recommend using a USB or Ethernet hardwire connection if possible. It's just way more stable and you'll run into way less troubleshooting issues. The issue that we help customers with the most are, their Wi-Fi or Bluetooth printers having trouble connecting and staying connected. So if you can eliminate that altogether, you're gonna have a much more successful setup. 2, sometimes Square can be a little finicky when you're connecting hardware the first time around about the order that you connect them in. For some hardware, you want to connect the printer in before you turn on the iPad, and sometimes you want to turn on the iPad before you plug in the hardware. It kind of just depends. If you order it from us, you can always call in and we can help navigate you through that. Square just has a couple quirks, so it's good to have someone there who can help you walk you through that. Getting back to the printers, you could also consider using the MC Print 3, which we have here. It prints at 10 inches per second, so it's right in the middle of the two. It's compatible over Ethernet on both models, plus USB with the Square Stand. It functions pretty much the same as the other two, so most people really only use this because of the look. It kind of has a little bit of a square cube-shaped design, which some people like. There's also a 2-inch version of this printer called the MC Print 2. It prints quite a bit slower. It's going to print at 4 inches per second versus 10 inches per second that you would get on the MC Print 3. But it's a solid little printer, and that printer is compatible over Ethernet, Bluetooth, and USB on the Square Stand, of course. You could also look at the Epson M10, which is another 2-inch printer that you can consider. It has the same compatibility and prints a tiny bit faster, but they're pretty much identical otherwise, so it's kind of just up to preference there. There is one other final 2-inch printer that you could consider, but it is a little bit unique. That is going to be part of the Star MPOP, which I have right here. The Star MPOP is a receipt printer and cash drawer built into a single unit. It's compatible over Bluetooth on both models, as well as USB on the Square Stand. The printer part is pretty self-explanatory. It kind of just pops out on this side, and has a little 2-inch printer here. But then you also have the cash drawer on this side. That's either going to be a 4-bit slot with either a 4 or 6 coin slot, depending on the model. Speaking of unique printers, I have another one for you. If you're a coffee shop or a cafe, you might want to print sticky labels for drink cups so that you don't have to write those out. If so, you might want to look at the TSP-104 SK, which I have right here. This one uses this kind of fancy sticky backed paper, and it can print on paper that is up to 1.5, 2.2, or 3 inches wide. And it is compatible over Ethernet on both models of Square, plus USB on the stand. Like I said, this printer is used mainly for printing drink cup tickets and whatnot. But if you're using the Square stand and you want to print, like shelf tags, you could consider upgrading to the ZD411. That's going to connect over USB, but you'll need an active Square for Retail Plus subscription. But this will allow you to print, more of the standard sort of labels that you come to expect. Kind of the the 1.25 by 2.25 and whatnot. So just another option for you if you happen to be on the Square stand. Set this off to the side. And wrapping this up on thermal printers, let's pivot just a little bit to talk about mobile printers. So these are the printers that you can walk around with and print from anywhere in your business by connecting them over Bluetooth. You'll have your pick of either the SMT300i for 3-inch printing or the SMS230i for 2-inch printing. Wrapping us up on printers all together, let's take a moment to talk about kitchen printers. This is the Star SP700. It is by far Square's most popular kitchen printer right now. That's compatible over Ethernet on both models of Square, as well as USB on the Square stand, of course. When you order this printer, you'll want to ensure that you order some ink ribbon as well with it. It won't ship by default. In addition, you'll also have the option of using the Epson TMU220 over Ethernet or USB as well. They're fairly similar printers, same sort of print technology, just different form factors. Just kind of up to preference there, but the Star SP700 is the one that we're seeing most people using. Next up, we're taking a look at cash drawers. And thankfully, this is pretty easy because you can use just about any cash drawer on the market right now, so long as you're using something with a printer-driven cash drawer connection. A printer-driven cash drawer connects the drawer to the back of a receipt printer using a special cable. What happens is that when the receipt printer prints, it sends a small electrical pulse that opens the drawer. The end of the cable sort of looks like an Ethernet or a telephone cable, but they're not the same. So please make sure that you're not connecting that cable to the Ethernet port on the back of printers, or it won't work, or it may even break things. So we just take a look at the back of this. Star makes it easy because they put a DK right below the drawer kick port where it plugs in. So just make sure you're plugging it into that and not the Ethernet cable right next to it if you're using an Ethernet printer, of course. Like I said, any cash drawer will work, but we recommend using Star cash drawers. They have just really good build quality. And if you're using a Star printer, the cash drawer will already come with the exact cable that you need. Otherwise, you'll need to do some research online to find the cable that's made for the specific cash drawer that connects to the receipt printer, and that can be a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes. So if you have the option, you can just cut out the guesswork. Here I have the CD3 cash drawer. This is our most popular drawer, and it comes in either black or white, and in either a 16 by 16 inch or a 13 by 13 inch configuration. They also make some models with a stainless steel front that look really nice. If you're using a Square stand and you want to use the cash drawer without a printer, you can also connect a few very specific model numbers of USB equipped APG cash drawers to the hub that's on the Square stand. And then you can have the drawer open without a receipt printer when the transaction is complete. We have some of those specific models available on that microsite that I mentioned at the start of this video. So if that's something you're interested in, I'd recommend going down there so that you could order the exact right one. So with that, that's basically cash drawers. Like I said, super easy. If you are in the mood for a scanner, you have a couple options depending on which version of Square you're using. If you're using the Square Reader, you only have one. You have the SocketScan S700. This connects over Bluetooth and just directly pairs to the tablet. I have this model in white, but they come in a bunch of different colors. There's like a green, a blue, an orange, a red. You have the whole rainbow. So, you can kind of match your store if you kind of have a particular vibe going. If you're using the square stand, you have a couple more options. Any USB barcode scanner should work. So, anything that kind of has a USB port. If you're looking to do something with Bluetooth, you can't like pair directly, but you can use something that has like a Bluetooth cradle here. So this connects to the cradle over Bluetooth, and then it comes out into a USB port on the end, and you can just plug that in, and it works the exact same as a wired Bluetooth scanner. And finally, we'll wrap up with scales. If you are using the Square reader, the only one that you'll have the option to use is the Star MGS8200 over Bluetooth. I've done a video review on it in the past, so that'll be in one of these two corners, so you can kind of learn a little bit more about that. If you're using the Square stand, you'll have 3 additional models that you can use. 4 rather, my bad. You can do CAS scales, so that's C-A-S, CAS. They have compatibility for the SWRS and the PD-2, both of those over USB. As well, you could also use a Brecknell 6710U over USB, or you could also, if you're looking for more of the in-counter scanner scale type setup, they do also support the Datalogic Magellan 9600 and 9800i scales over USB. Now, there's a couple extra cables and setup that is required if you're trying to do that. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely reach out to us. It's kind of tricky, but we've sort of figured it out, and we have some kits that come with everything that you need. But with that, that is going to wrap up the compatibility for the iPad-based Square systems. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. Phone, email, both of those are going to be on the screen here in a second. And if you want to make it easy and cut out the guesswork, like I said, we've built a custom microsite that has all the different products in one place, broken out by the different types of Square, with all the little notes and caveats that you need to make the right choice the first time around. But with that, thank you so much. I really appreciate you tuning in, and look forward to helping you out soon. Take care. Bye-bye.